the biggest AI trap. Well, I don't think it's a trap. The trap is saying that this current obsolete system of giant data centers that are mostly devoted to cooling technology and chill units, or that these giant data centers are some final thing, some eschaton that the government has to regulate and perpetuate and sanctify and essentially render some new establishment. This belief of this comic belief of the Sam Altman and people like that his technology is so dangerous that he needs government help to prevent from killing people with it is just so ridiculous that it's really amazing. But in a way, this is what big companies always do. They seek government assistance to maintain their dominance, and I think that they have reason. ChatGPT can do all sorts of amazing things that we all appreciate, but 5% of its answers are wrong. It's a search engine without sources. Its most accurate system, the system where it gives the answers that are really optimal according to its own internal algorithms, are so boring that they can't release them. So the usual temperature, it's measured by the temperature, and the temperature really registers how many errors they're willing to accept by injecting random numbers into the scheme. And the answer is 0.8, between 0 being a completely accurate answer and 1 being almost a random answer. ChatGPT registers a temperature of 0.8. That means it's lots of randomness in it. And Stephen Wolfram, the great mathematician, in his book on how ChatGPT has chapters on all the errors it makes, and it just is this whole idea that it's some final accomplishment of computer science, and this is the method that's going to be used in the future to accomplish logical procedures, that you have a database of 1 trillion parameters or more. The first GPT had 175 billion parameters. It's now up over 1 trillion. And they all confront Charles Sanders Peirce, the great mathematician of the early 20th century, who showed that the world is triadic. There's symbols, and symbol systems, computers, mathematics, physics, all these symbolic representations of reality. And then there's reality, which is an amazing, baffling molecular, atomic mass. And then there are, in between, the symbols and the objects are necessarily an interpretant. There's no necessary connection between any particular algorithm or mathematical formula and the real world. It takes an interpretant, some intermediary. It's triadic. And these AIs are symbol systems. They're churning symbols. And even if they're connected to a sensory apparatus, so they're its data. The creator of the sensor determines the parameters that are going to be measured and sensed. It's just the idea that somehow the AI system corresponds with the real world and eventually will subsume the real world is just nonsense. It's theoretically defies the greatest insights of computer science. Charles Sanders Peirce, Gödel's incompleteness theorem is another way of expressing the same predicament. Turing's oracle. Turing, a computer always needs an outsider oracle. It's not self-sufficient. That was why Hilbert's laws were not fulfilled. Hilbert, the great German mathematician in the early 20th century, declared that these symbol systems would ultimately be able to sum up all reality. And he had 10 problems that had to be resolved before that could happen. And John von Neumann was his leading advisor. And von Neumann heard Gödel's proof at Göttingen at a meeting in 1931. And once he heard Gödel's proof, von Neumann was relieved of this effort to create some new unitary God of a symbol system, and went and created computers. And von Neumann devoted the rest of his life, mostly, with little stints at the Manhattan Project and other places, but generally to creating the digital computer that has finally, and not as a finality, but has now reached this pinnacle of AI and AGI. And it's a really impressive achievement. I'm not disparaging it. It just isn't, it's not an eschaton. It's not a final thing. It's a It will help humans create new great works of art and great new adventures to enter space and colonize new planets and extend lives and accomplish many great goals. It's going to do that, but So I think this is an important meeting because it can only do it if it's distributed, as Ben Gödel insists. It's a singularity because it's singularly capable, but we don't want just one of them.